Good evening. I am coming at you live tonight for our first live of the second week for our community PANCHAKARMA. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We'll drop more into the nuts and bolts of what the focus is for the second week, where we're moving through the VATA 6 weeks to VATA Resilience course, Roots with Wings. And then also the secondary course that's been fused with it, Grace in Crisis. If you want to get your hands on those free Ayurvedic courses, you can go to cobrasmedicinebag.com and you'll see them listed on the homepage with buttons with direct access. All you got to do is click and you're in, okay? No need to give me your email, nothing like that. Before we dive into tonight, it's going to be an interesting experience tonight. I got kind of a download coming in. I felt like we needed a bit of visioning, a bit of energy alignment. I am going to put comments on for in case when people drop by. You may catch this on the replay. That's okay too. We had talked about bringing in some kind of healing session that was related to what came in for the White Light Oracle. I've been pulling cards on that each week. I'm going to pull a new card for us for this second week tomorrow, but I kind of wanted to work with the energies that already surfaced. Simultaneously with that, I really had whale medicine come in, and of course, naturally, when whale medicine comes in, we're also looking at pictures of the source. We're looking at our memories, our DNA, the record keeping, the Akashic records specifically. So I thought we would do a little bit of meditation around this. You might hear Ted in the background there. He's totally partaking of the source right now. He's drinking up his water. He's here with us to journey with us. He's my fetch. So I'll be leading us through a grounding exercise as well as a shielding exercise. And then we'll do a nice journeying meditation that I'll lead us through to connect with the essence of whale medicine and also help us gain a key that will allow us, when we're ready, on the level we're ready, to begin to access our Akashic records. Now, not everybody may be ready to do that work. We'll go into what the Akashic records are about. I do want to do like a little mini opening read on the Akashic records, but I feel like everything that's coming through with the whale medicine, which I'll also elaborate on, really speaks to what's needing to come in right now. Water element very front and center, all right? So this kind of coming through as a collective message that in any way that you can connect with the element of water right now, whether that's going to a natural body of water, going to the ocean, or spending time with one of the sweet waters like a river, a stream, a brook, a creek, or even if it's just making sure that you're getting enough water, maybe even putting some intentions in your water. You know, there's a lot that's been studied around this. Himoto did a whole study around this, around the way the thoughts we hold can change the crystalline structure of the water, that it carries a charge. Water is a conductor. So this piece coming in, as well as just connecting with water through your bathing rituals, you know, this is very front and center. I feel it's also a time of spiritual cleansing. We're also in a period of transition, which is why I really fused together the Grace in Crisis material with the material with VATA, because I feel like it's very much in tandem right now. And in any time when we're going through a big transition, any time when we're experiencing shifts, the nervous system can be impacted. So really looking forward to bringing all these pieces in. And I just want to open up with a little talk about the Akashic records. Some people may not know what that is. You may have heard it thrown around, you know, the term thrown around, but you might not be sure what the Akashic records are all about. So the Akashic records are a concept, a school of thought, okay, that is from the philosophy background of anthroposophy, okay, and it's a compendium, you could say, of every multiversal event that has ever occurred, every thought, every word spoken, every intention held, every stamp that's ever been made on all of existence in all directions of time and space, beyond even the time-space continuum, past, present, future. It's like a history of all that exists across the board, not just for humanity, but all life forms, okay? And it's said that if you can start to gain access to your Akashic records, you can come to understand yourself a lot more. First of all, there can be a lot of growth, there can be a lot of deep healing, there can be a lot of integration work, there can be an awakening of your gifts, there can be an activation of your purpose, okay? That being said, you know, when we go into an area like the Akashic Records, it doesn't just record all the beauty, all the positivity, all the lofty. It's also, you know, it's like opening Pandora's box, you could say. It's also known as the Book of Life. Edgar Cayce refers to it as the Book of Life quite frequently. Edgar Cayce kind of coming forward as somebody that might be interesting to explore. He had some really interesting thoughts on metaphysics and on healing. This gap in knowledge in Western society in regard to healing is really being filled through the metaphysical, okay? A lot of us are starting to awaken to the way the metaphysical can play a role in our healing process, even if it's just to provide meaning around the experiences that we're going through, or a new level of emotional understanding about how some kind of dis-ease was established in our physical body. And we know that with Ayurveda, we're looking at a mind, body, spirit picture. So all of this is very front and center. And when I think of whale medicine in particular, you know, in association with this, naturally, whale medicine is a natural association when anytime we're bringing up the Akashic records, because whale medicine, whale totem is all about record keeping. And first, that's within the DNA. You know, where did you come from? You know, what are your roots? Ancestry is very front and center. So certainly there's that level of record keeping, but it goes beyond that. It goes all the way into the Akashic records, the origin of life itself, and all the details, the divine framework of that, so to speak. Is there a divine design? You know, the theory is that the Akashic record says yes and maps it all out for you, okay? But there's this thing when we seek knowledge, once you have that knowledge, it's like once you know, you can't unknow it. And so people sometimes seek these things, they seek knowledge, they seek understanding, and they don't recognize the way that sometimes when we open ourselves up to higher knowledge, if we're not ready for it, if we don't really understand what we're getting into, and that's why it's kind of dangerous to throw around these sort of concepts within the framework of just like, you know, superficial, like superficial concepts, let's say. You know, it's like people may talk a lot about this. This may be front and center. You may hear Akashic records thrown a lot around in woke culture, right? But it's like just that connotation right there tells you everything you need to know. It's like it's not a superficial pursuit. Let's just say that once you open up to this level of integration work and psychic expansion and exploration. And so it's something that really should be entered into mindfully. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. So what we're doing tonight is we're going to do like a visualization, journeying, meditation, grounding, shielding. This will be perfect for those who are questers for the Cauldron of Dagda. It will kind of be a preamble to the space I'll be calling up and reinforcing tonight that will have this kind of as the foundation of it. Okay, so helpful energy to tap into, but consider this an attunement to whale medicine, I would say, is what we're really looking at with tonight's session. So I'm going to go ahead and just like tell you a little bit about whale medicine, and then we're going to get just like an opening baseline read just to see the energies that are coming in for the collective who are either on the PANCHAKARMA journey or are questing for the Cauldron of Dagda. Maybe you're doing both like me, all right? This is just going to give you some support for this week, and the read will kind of highlight things that we can focus on as a collective as we enter this second week of PANCHAKARMA work, healing work, integration work, questing work, you know, however this is playing out in your life, okay? So whale medicine is the record keeper, and that includes the Akashic records. Whale medicine will tell you about your ancestors. It will help you connect with your roots, and you can definitely use this medicine and this journey to connect with your ancestors, to connect with your roots. If that's a missing piece for you, for whatever reason. I was just having a conversation with a dear friend, Sonia, earlier today, and we were talking about adoption records and the way that sealed adoption records, or in some cases destroyed adoption records, can really prevent you from knowing more about your roots, you know. And this piece here kind of like coming in. So sometimes you just know something in your blood. The blood song is very strong, you know, and there's so many things that tap you into your ancestry, things you do on a day-to-day basis, just certain mannerisms, certain things that you're drawn to, certain things that speak to your soul that are actually like that imprint, you know, of your ancestors upon your present soul's expression. It's actually really beautiful the way once you start to tap into that deepest well, which for me, you know, that song by the Waylon Jennings, deepest well, that to me is really speaking about when we tap the roots of our ancestry, because once you begin to tap those roots, it just takes you deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into an inexhaustible source of understanding about yourself, about your place in the world. It's actually really potent, really powerful medicine. So we're really looking at tapping into that with tapping into whale medicine, and where you're feeling like you're not able to be connected to your ancestors. Maybe there's a lot of question marks, you know. Maybe you have native ancestry. Maybe you had relatives that, you know, their adoption records were, you know, MIA. You know, that happened with my grandmother, where the Comanche comes from. She was adopted, and we don't have access to adoption records. So there's like this whole gap of understanding and awareness about our roots, you know. I know I had great Uncle Pim who lived on the reservation in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, you know, but I don't know much beyond that, and neither did my grandma, you know. And so there's like so much that's left there to understand. And sometimes when we start to connect with the energy, you know, on a spiritual level, and we start working the path metaphysically, we can get some of those gaps filled for us, and there's a new understanding that awakens within us. So this can be a very helpful totem to guide us on journeys like that, where we're trying to understand more about our ancestors, where we came from, who we are. Because once we understand where we came from, it really does give you a lot of guidance, navigational guidance about where you're going. That's another thing that whale is good for, navigation. But navigation by how? By what means? By, like, you know, sonar waves, you know. It's that energy where you're working with a more subtle level of navigation. It's not so much using the head necessarily, not thinking with the brain, not having to have everything analyzed and compartmentalized and put in a nice tidy order, but more going by feeling, by sense, by picking up the signals, you know, stuff that's happening beneath the surface on a more subtle level. It's that kind of navigation. That's what whale totem awakens in you, the ability to navigate by really picking up those signals, you know, the vibrations that are coming through, being guided forward in that way, the subtle waves of awareness that come in on the ether. That being said, this is also very much an ally. Whale can be an ally to really going into the depths of the psychology, to doing any kind of healing work, as well as breaching, you know, veering left, taking a more revolutionary approach, creating something new, innovative, creative, you know, a birthing portal, you know, for a different sort of consciousness to emerge, to create a new way forward. This is also whale medicine, all right? Opening up to greater levels of psychic awareness, and having whale as a guide to lead you in those depths, to learn to work with that watery element. This is all whale medicine. Whale medicine is also very much associated with Neptunian energies. So we know that it can be a place of dream time. It can be a place where we can do a lot of visioning work. We also know that it's a place where there can be fantasy as well. And that fantasies can be spun into reality if the right awareness is brought in. There's a lot of awareness that needs to come in with really being able to hold whale totem in an empowered way. To grok its medicine. Pranayama can be very, very helpful, especially especially any kind of pranayama where it's really focusing on these upper channels, really carrying the energy up. Alternate nostril breathing really coming in as a very valuable pranayama to work with in just activating whale medicine, as well as that Durga pranayama, which we introduced in the first week. It's kind of like the wave of the breath. If you really start to get into the meditative quality of doing this breath work, you'll notice when you do the Durga pranayama, it's almost like a wave of breath. It crests and it falls, and that same wave really starts to be mimicked energetically in the body. You can start to ride that wave. That wave of prana can take you places, okay? So this medicine also coming in, also that piece of brought in about breaching. You know, we think about being born breech, right? Like you're born backwards. It's like the same kind of thing, like to go back into your roots, to tap your roots. It helps you experience a rebirth and a birthing portal, you know, the birthing portal to your rebirth, right? But it's coming in backwards. So there's even a bit of like kind of this fairy feel to whale medicine, where we're looking at what's backwards is actually forwards, what's upside down is right side up. So it's like being able to sit within that place of contradiction and allow it not to be a divisory point, but actually a unifying point. Okay, so that's a little something to think about there. Use that as a little bit of a meditation, you know, but it's working with that Uranus energy. It also shows that there can be abrupt changes in your life, and that we are at a time of transition when things can just like change on the drop of a dime. So it's learning how to really flow with these cycles and being guided by following the signals to know the way through. That's very much whale medicine. There's also some very positive qualities that are invoked with whale medicine, like confidence and just general good luck and optimism, joy, a spirit of celebration, as well as experiencing recognition, but especially soul recognition, or really recognizing the soul of a place or the soul of an experience when it's just really in harmony with you. It awakens something in you, stirs something in you. So this is also like soul reunion with those who are part of your soul family, right? It's also a soulmate reunion for lovers, you know, lovers who are meant to join together, and they're joining together, create something. But even beyond that, it's, you know, people you're meant to work with, people you're meant to build the future with, people you're meant to revolutionize life with, and share your piece in that work that we all have to do. There's also the piece of discovery through discovery through secrets that are arrived at through journeying through the portal of the self. So it's sort of like as you unlock these memories, or these codes of these memories that are in your DNA, you know, all this history that comes from your roots. As you start to tap your roots, it provides the discovery of secrets, and certainly secrets being the mysteries, you know, the great mysteries, the alchemical mysteries, but also secrets about yourself, things about yourself that you never understood before, that you never really knew before. So there's just a lot of potency with this medicine. And finally, it really makes me think of Gaia's amniotic fluid. Like all of life was born from the source, from the sea, you know, all of life was born from water. And so it really brings in like that womb space energy. And it's like, for me, it's kind of like mirroring this cauldron of Dagda too. So it's kind of interesting the way the energy is coming through. But this is what we're going to do some work around tonight. So I hope that you appreciate it. I will have timestamps down for you. It'll take me a little time to get the timestamps down, just because I do, let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this right here, though. Let's see if this works. I'll try to remember it in live time, okay? So I'm going to do 20 on the dot. We're going to go into just a little collective read here with the Angel Tarot. And maybe this way I can kind of get everything marked down for you all, right? We'll see how it goes. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Sometimes I start writing the energy, though, and I get a little distracted. So let's see how it plays out. All right. So I've definitely felt there's an energy shift this week. I feel it in the collective. I think a lot of people are feeling it. There's some kind of activation on the ether in the collective for sure. Okay. I think we feel the advent of change. I think we feel the advent of, um, the chariot's just about to come forward. There's some kind of action that's going to be required of us collectively. Something's on the horizon. And with that, the angels kind of want to stop the shuffling here. So let's see how this shakes out. Bottom of the deck energy. It's in reverse. 9 of Cups. Okay. This is some kind of disillusionment. This is not really being sure what one should wish for at this point, because there's an understanding that what we thought at one point would bring us personal gratification at the end of the day isn't what true fulfillment is. I feel this is really a shift that's happening in the collective consciousness, where we're moving beyond the individual to thinking more in a community kind of sense. And I do feel this is where we're really needing a revolution at this time, at this point in history. It has a lot to do with realizing that as long as we are focused on the individual, there's always going to be an inequity in the world. And if we really want to get to a place where there's a balance of holding power, then we have to start thinking more in a communal sense, and does that mean we all have to live together, by the same rules as one happy family? No, but there can be room for understanding. And there can also be understanding that people can be free to form communities of their own where they do share the same ideals, they do share the same views, and there can be room for everybody to have their own communities like this, and how it can be a beautiful way to coexist within that spirit of unity, even as we all have different lifestyles, even as we all have different views. Now, that's a long, far stretch from where we are right now. So when we start to think about these expansive concepts, which is what we're really coming up against when we think about moving into the age of Aquarius, this becomes a point where we have to really do a lot of self-reflection. And we first have to create this opportunity for revolution, or as I like to think of it, little r evolution, revolution into this template within our own lives, and how we play that out within our day-to-day experiences, our relationships, even with the way we encounter our roadblocks within us and how we overcome them. So the work begins on an individual level, but is community oriented, even when doing the individual work. Okay, this is coming through very strongly. It's this more focus on personal gratification and not really considering the larger picture with the 9 of Cups in reverse, that we don't really understand how we are actually creating more sickness in the world. We're not moving toward healing. It's the unification point that is where we find the healing. And it's a tall order, but we have to start working towards this individually in our own lives, within our own social circles, within our own communities. And we have to start taking practical steps to build this new reality if we ever hope for this thing to get legs. And I feel like it is getting legs. I feel like there's a lot more people all over the world that are starting to think with this kind of mindset, that are opening themselves to new ways of looking at how we can navigate a pathway forward for humanity and what that looks like. It is very big right now. It is very big, right? This may make some people feel like throwing in the towel before we even get started, but it's such a necessary thing for us all to move forward in an empowered way. This is the answer. To think collectively, to think communally, is how we get beyond what is causing the sickness and the distortion and the imbalance of power in society. It's also what preserves health and cures everything that is ailing us. It says here, preserves health and cures diseases. It brings healing, It's eluded us up to this point. Right? Let's see what else the angels want us to know about this and what they want us to use as a reflection point this week. We just had Pluto go direct into Capricorn, so we're on the move to that shift where Pluto returns to Aquarius later in January 2024. So we open up next year on a revolutionary note. We're doing the groundwork for that right now. That's what's happening. And we all have a different way that this revolution is asking us to rise up in our own lives, what changes we're being asked to make, what growth we need to do. And I did a read for that. It's actually the featured read right now on the channel. And I broke that down for each individual sign, the way the cycle is kind of playing out for you. So do tune into it. You might find it valuable. Also be aware that it's a tough love kind of read. It's not like a read talking about goodies that are coming your way. It's about the work we need to do is dictated by Saturn, all right? So we know it's some tough love, and it's in Capricorn, so big goat energy. So just be prepared for that. This is what fell on the floor. We got the 7 of Swords in reverse, okay? So this is big time self-sabotage. This is kind of like, well, I don't want to look at any of this. You know, I don't want to look at the work that needs to be done. I don't want to look at the challenges. I don't want to look at that uglier side of life. I want to whitewash it. I want to bypass it. I want to distract myself. I want to numb myself out. I want to do anything I can to have this diversionary energy so I don't have to actually look at this. So I don't have to directly confront this. And in doing this, you actually are ripping yourself off, you know, of arriving at this place of finally experiencing true freedom, the true freedom that comes when you stand in your integrity and that you move forward in your life in a way that's in alignment with your passion and your purpose and why you're here. It's like the activation of that North Node, your destiny. And so that's another reason why we're bringing in this whale medicine tonight, because whale can help you navigate your way to that North Node. And you might have to look back at the past. You might have to look at some subconscious patterns, some ways you sabotage yourself that kind of keeps you on these continual loops that eludes your healing, that prevents you from moving forward in an empowering way, or even being able to break free of some of these generational curses or these unhealthy patterns that have been passed down through your bloodline. You know, the same old story. You know, you have a chance to be a break in the chain. You know, you can be that link, you know, that finally, you know, gives way and sets the bloodline free. And it's really true. I mean, this work is powerful. It's amazing the way the healing extends and the way it can pave the way for the future, for future generations to come, you know. And there's this piece, legacy, you know, legacy. This energy has been coming through very strongly lately. Legacy, legacy, legacy. Makes me think of my broad, Wilder Sharp Teeth, who makes amazing candles. You can find them at the Sharpest Teeth. They're also at the Sharpest Teeth here on YouTube. They do great readings, but they make these wonderful candles, and they made a candle called Legacy, real potent candle. But when I think of legacy, I really think about, well, what are we leaving behind? You know, what do we want our generation to be remembered for? What is our legacy that we're leaving? What is the print we're leaving behind? And so this is something that everybody's being asked to kind of look at right now, but also to look at the legacy that our ancestors left behind. And how is that still kind of playing out in our lives? And is there corrections that need to be made there? Are there course corrections that need to be made there? Okay. We do need to look at this stuff. And with it in reverse, you know, normally upright, this says knowledge of good and evil appeases divine anger. Okay. This is in reverse. Okay. So it's like, you know, this isn't pleasing spirit. That's why there's so many tests. You know, that's why we got earth in upheaval. You know, the earth is just an extension of spirit. Everything's an extension of Akasha, you know. That's just reality. That's the nature of reality. There's no separation. Everything is one energy. Positive, negative, neutral energy in the form of atoms. Everything in existence. So it is all one energy. But, you know, this doesn't please that energy. That's when we get earth in upheaval. That's when we get blockages. That's when we feel out of harmony. We feel like we don't belong, you know? We don't feel like we belong in our own lives. We don't feel connected to our life. We don't feel connected to reality. That's because we've forgotten our roots. We've forgotten where we've come from. We've forgotten the earth. And then we wonder why we have such a lack. You know, that's the one thing that's very different from indigenous cultures than what we got going on nowadays, is they had great reverence, respect, connection to the earth, because the earth was considered Gaia. The earth was considered mama, and mother provided, you know. That's how you ate, you know. The crops were how you ate. The bison, you know, fed you through the lean times of winter. You know, all this came from the earth, a gift from the earth. But we've lost that connection in favor of what we view as power, going for technological advancement, and it's really done us a disservice, you know. So yeah, earth in upheaval. and we've lost our way, you know, what's good, what's bad. It's become very fuzzy in the collective consciousness. And sometimes people really veer off course because of desperation, you know. They go out of harmony with their integrity, you know. They sacrifice things they shouldn't in the pursuit of power. And it's the challenges we're facing right now. And we're also being asked to really look at the ways that we feed into that, you know. How are we feeding the current algorithm? How are we reinforcing the current matrix? And if we're kind of just going along with the status quo, what do we need to do at this time to breach that, you know? Use the whale medicine to breach that. Do something new, you know? Do something new. Some of you may have some ideas of some innovative ways to move forward that are actually informed by your roots, or an idea you had in the past that maybe you didn't have the confidence to go for, the courage to go for, or you made one or the other excuse around, or maybe you didn't have supporters for what you wanted to do. This thing is being reactivated in you. It's being reawakened in you. It's coming back into your surface of consciousness, you know. It's kind of like up in your face. Those of you that are having this, it's like in your face all the time. You keep seeing the keys show up in your environment. The key as a symbol, as an archetypal symbol, still coming through for the collective. Like whenever you see a key or you hear the word key, like there's a key there for you. There's something there that unlocks an opportunity for you. And for some of you, that opportunity may just be to let a belief construct fall away, to get a new view, to open the door to a new perspective, to open up the doorways of perception in your consciousness, okay? So a lot of awakening happening right now, but we can really do ourselves a disservice, and we can sort of keep ourselves in a constricted, contracted place if we refuse to look at the sharper edge of that sort of truth, which is some of the things we don't want to look at. And some of that is our personal responsibility. Some of that is the ugliness in the world. Some of that is the challenges that we face, and the way that this is not going to necessarily always be a comfortable process. And in fact, it can be a very disruptive process, you know. And we think of Uranus, we think of the tower, you know, we think of something that comes along that just like wrenches the fabric of our life. And we have to mend it together in a new way. We have to find a new way forward, you know. And some things can't be patched, you know, some things are destroyed. Sometimes you have to let things go, you know, and you have to start fresh, you know. All of us are doing a lot of mending work. All of us are tugging a lot of threads in our consciousness. It's very like subtle right now. It's like you feel something, there's something there, you know, you're starting to like follow a certain thought or a certain idea, a certain vision, a certain feeling, you know. And as you do, the further you go into it, more is revealed to you. But it's you have this feeling like there's so much there, and you're right. You're right. With this, the card fell on the ground again. You know, some of you may just kind of be abandoning things because they require you to go more deeply into them. You know, maybe you're just kind of like wanting instant gratification, instant answers. It's like, there's something about this, like dive deep. That's not where it's found right now. You know, what we got going on here. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you think it's too slow. Everyone wants everything on fast forward, and they don't understand that there's real commitment required to the path ahead. Like, we're just in the beginning stages of turning things around that went awry. And when I speak on this level, I'm talking about for humanity. Like, we're just like little babies right now. You know, we just got out of the womb. So this is a lot. We're at the beginning stages of this right now. We're in rebirth stage right now, okay? And with the Nine of Pentacles coming in reverse, this means like, not only have we not planted our seed, not only is everything gridlocked right now, but we don't even really have that seed yet. We don't really have that seed yet. Okay? We may not even have the plot that we want to plant the seed in. Everything is still kind of in this vague place. Well, it could be this, it could be that. All right, so that's the work we're doing. We're getting clear. We're getting clear. We're coming into alignment, mind, body, spirit. All right, that's what this work is all about. And sometimes you have to like tap your roots to remember who you are before your purpose can be reawakened. You know, it's an important piece. Cut the deck energy. 8 of Wands. Things are going to get moving though. It's going to be about 2 months from now. Okay. So I really feel like once we hit that point of winter solstice, it's like everything kind of really wakes up and starts to quicken in winter solstice. I've been getting this message coming in for a while. It's kind of a strange message because normally winter is the time we turn within and things are calm and things are quiet. That's not what's happening. It's more like time is kind of like morphed a little bit and everything's a little bit backwards. Like fall right now where we're at is where we're in this place of sort of planning, you know, really getting clear on, okay, what is the way forward? What does that look like? How can I really get myself stabilized? Because I know that I'm going to have to make a big push here. I'm going to be called to action. Like there's a lot I'm going to have to step up to the plate for in my life. And I'm not going to be able to just rest on my laurels. Like I'm going to have to make decisions. I'm going to have to make moves. I'm going to have to take action. I'm going to have to speak truths. Like I'm going to have to make decisions. I'm heading into that time, but that time's coming in winter. And normally that would be the time you'd rest. That's not what's happening. And I think that has everything to do with this forward motion of Pluto going direct into Capricorn. Okay, now's the nuts. I can't even talk. Now's the nuts and bolts of it. You know, now it's really just shoring up the foundation and making a game plan, having a solid plan. It's also getting yourself really strong. So this Panchakarma is really important just to get yourself bolstered, you know, build that resilience. Because your nervous system will be called to the mat. Like you're going to have to move into action. You're going to need to have energy reserves. You know, I'm bringing this in. I feel it. It's a big time of change for people. Things are going to start quickening. And they're going to start moving very quickly, especially in the realm of communication, on the World Wide Web, travel, commerce, shipping, receiving, all of these areas, transport, anything along these lines. Yes, it's really going to be like picking up, people making connections with different parts of the world, global expansion, telecommunications. There's going to be a lot of innovations starting to come in telecommunications, but also with Pluto in Aquarius, we have to look at monitoring. We have to look at surveillance. We have to look at other aspects of that can come in that can be distorted. Okay, so this is also about really major issues, things that are very important, like freedom of speech, issues around censorship, blocking, shadow banning, you know, that bypassing we were talking about. Bypassing coming forward in its very authoritative, distorted way. Okay. So all of these energies, look for all of these themes to start to really come to a head and start to erupt in about 2 months, right around winter solstice. It's going to happen in your life too, you know, in the microcosm of your own life. In your living situations, in your careers, in your health, you know, in your relationships, in your friendships, within your family, all of it, you know. Everybody's going to be going through their own personal revolutions, you know. They're going to be receiving calls. They're going to be asked to do things in a new way, to let go of the old and rise up into the new. And it's potent and it's powerful. What's on the other side here? 5 of Cups. This is what we're rising up out of, and this is what's going to be cleansed away from us once Pluto goes direct into Aquarius. See this water bearer energy right here. We're moving out of the disappointment. We're moving out of the loss. We're no longer looking at where's my healing, where's the celebration I was supposed to have. In traditional tarot, we see the figure looking back at the 3 cups that have been spilled. But in this card, this is not the case. It's different. We're getting to the other side of that. Now we've turned around. We're not looking at the past anymore. We closed the karmic cycle. Now we're looking at the future. How can we create moving forward? We cleansed away the past and we're nurturing the new way forward. It starts with one vessel. It starts with our vessel. It starts with that Ace of Cups. That's what the Ace of Cups is. That's what the Ace of Cups is. The Ace of Cups is you pouring into yourself, you coming into alignment within yourself, you healing yourself. And then you can come into harmony with the other, which is what the journey of the 5 of Cups is all about. It's like, yes, there's loss, but there's loss of what's false. And if you turn around from the past and you look forward towards your future, you move out of disappointment, you let the shadows fall behind you as you face the light. And what do you see? You see 2 cups coming in, waiting for you. That's the rebirth energy. That's the journey of the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups goes to the 6 of Cups. The next progression is that, yes, then you unite with the soulmate. Then you unite with your soul family, the people that are meant to journey with you on this next chapter. Okay, 40-50 on the clock. All right, 9 energy, your spiritual source of recognition, you know, recognition. This is part of whale medicine. It's also like soul recognition. Like when you meet those people, those soulmates, where it doesn't just have to be romantically, it can be on any level. You meet somebody, you're like, wait a minute, I know you. It's like I've known you my whole life. We're kindred. That's soul recognition. That's whale totem medicine. It's also an ally for doing soul retrieval, because soul searching is also something the whale medicine is good for. Now, on a practical level, yes. On the psychological level, yes. You know, when you're trying to find your way, when you're trying to pick up that navigation, where's my soul calling me now? What is my purpose? Look at this blockage. What is my purpose? There's so much blockage around purpose right now. I almost feel like these forces of darkness, whatever you want to call them, these power hungry forces, these distortions that are running the algorithm right now, that's what they're trying to block. They don't want the activation of purpose for people, because if you have purpose, you understand you're not going to be complacent. Like, you're going to stand up and you're going to move into action. Purpose is passion. Purpose is the way forward, like connecting with what makes you feel like you're in touch with something that's meaningful to you on a soul level is the way forward. That's why creativity is so important at this time, okay? But this is what's coming in, and it says prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and deliverance from bondage. So we're moving out of this state of oppression. We're moving away from that which promises such great reward, celebration. I mean, immediately, just as a Westerner, what comes to mind is the American dream. You know, how many of us have been in pursuit of the American dream? We've been sold this American dream. Where is it? Where is it? You know what I'm saying? There's only one way that dream's going to be reawakened, and that's through working with this whale medicine. It's by tapping the roots of the past. We have to remember where we come from. We have to remember our roots. And that applies on every stratum of being. Ancestrally, yes. In our DNA, yes. But also our origins, you know, our origin of our country, our origin of our spiritual belief systems, the origin of our ideals, all of it. The roots, by going down to the roots, we really start to have an understanding of where we're coming from. And that is what informs us regarding what we need to create, how we need to move forward. Because this is the thing, man. It's not that we didn't know the way. We've always known the way. The keys of the kingdom have always been inside of us. And specifically by tapping our roots, that we will remember that. What's happened is a disconnection. And that's why we lost our way. It's not that we never had it. It's not like we're all here flailing. We're lost. We don't know what's going on, where we're going, what we're doing. No, we've been programmed to believe that at this point. But it's not true. Our ancestors knew. They lived in harmony with the earth, and the earth sustained them. It's always a case of technological advancement, the greed, the gluttony, the vanity, the pride, you know, those 7 deadly sins, energies, the hunger for power at the cost of another, you know. This is what has destroyed civilization after civilization after civilization, and will continue to do so until we birth a new way of being. And we failed many times. You know, you can look at stories like Atlantis and see that mimicked. And there's a lot of prophecy about that as well, that we're at such a critical juncture in our lives at this point in the planet's history. Will history repeat itself? I mean, I have theories. I think this planet has been cleansed multiple times, and my personal theory, do I have any way to prove that? No. But does science either? No. Okay. So it's just something that I sense. Maybe this is a mock-up, man. Maybe it's been mocked up multiple times. It's like a video game and we keep failing. We keep failing. We never power up, man. So it's just like, it's kind of on repeat, you know? It could be anything. None of us know. But we know we're being given an opportunity, you know, to reclaim those keys and move forward. So that's what I really wanted to bring in tonight. And we're going to work with this whale medicine to do this. And I just wanted to lead us through some breath work, some shielding work. This can support you as you move through this week, just to kind of like, there's a lot of energy buzzing out there on the atmosphere. And especially if you're a sensitive person, you might want to put a little more focus into your grounding, your shielding. I know this is something that I brought in on the Grace and Crisis course. It came in the first week. It only takes a few minutes, but it can be really valuable and it definitely can help you, okay? But we'll do it as a group now, okay? I'm going to just turn the view of this forward so it's dead on with me, okay? Because that's going to help me in just bringing this energy in for all of you. I want to begin by just using some selenite. Selenite is a wonderful silky mineral. It's a form of gypsum, and it really refracts the light. It's excellent for clearing energy. You can use selenite to just run down your entire chakra system, and it's like a realignment, and it happens so quickly. It's amazing. You can use this with your other crystals. It cleanses them. It just neutralizes energy and kind of creates like this sort of a buffering kind of energy. It makes everything very soft and kind of silky. And so I already have this charged up with Reiki, and I just want to use it to kind of like clear the energy out. And I want to call in some Reiki for all of you. And then what I'm going to do is just lead you through a really condensed, like, grounding meditation. We'll work with the breath a little bit, Durga Pranayama, since that's what we've already brought in for the first week here. And now we're in week 2. So we'll go into more of the nuts and bolts of the focus for week 2 tomorrow. When I go live, so I'm switching things up a little bit this week. Since my birthday's on Friday, I want to take that day off and just have some fun and pour into myself. So and Saturday, things are getting a little mixed around too, because we're doing a special live on Freya, which I'm excited about with Brenda Yotis. We have a little goddess time here on Broadcoven. So schedule for the lives for the Panchakarma and the Cauldron of Dagda are just sort of like a little mixed up this week. That's okay. Playing with the energy, all right? So if you do not wish to receive the Reiki, that's okay. Just simply say no thank you, and you won't take it on. The way I have the intention set for this is that it's only for those who receive it of their own free will and who want to receive the energy. So if you're not interested, don't worry. It won't be directed your way. And this is basically Reiki that's being brought in to attune you with whale medicine, whale totem. So whale can be a bit of an ally for you as you do all of your subconscious healing work, all your integrative healing work. And as you start to really tap your roots within your DNA, within your ancestral bloodline, and also your Akashic records, okay? We're going to use whale medicine to go on a journey visualization where whale is going to help us get a key, okay? And what that key will be different between you and me and everybody else who receives this. It's very unique to you. It's kind of interesting when you look up things about Akashic records online, you'll run into these people that are like, I know the only way to access the Akashic records. And this is nonsense. It's like, no, everybody has their own way to source, okay? Everybody has their own way. And so whatever key comes through for you is for you to trust. It's very special. It's very special and unique to you, okay? So this is just to support you in that process, and also to cleanse your energy field of anything that is not yours to carry. So to sort of like clear out the hitchhiker energy, and also to clear the energy from anything that was going on before you came here to drop in with me. So you can just kind of like let it all go. Allow yourself to receive this time, to receive this journey, visualization, meditation, and experience this healing that we've been wanting to bring in here. Okay, so we're just going to take everything that was going on before you arrived here. And it's kind of like, just like with a chalkboard and an eraser, we're just clearing the screen, all right? Giving you a brand new, fresh view, clean slate, clearing out all the old energy, anything that happened before you arrived here to drop in with me, anything that's still like lingering in your space or maybe distracting you. We're just clearing that all away so you can come right into this present moment and just receive whatever guidance, whatever attunement, whatever alignment wants to come in for you. And since we're going to be doing this journey work, I'm really going to call in kind of an amplifying Reiki energy that will definitely be with you. Okay, this Reiki will be with you for probably like anywhere from a 24-hour to 48-hour period, just supporting you. Okay, it's just bringing in a more magnified form of it for you. All right. And then I'm bringing in some energy that will allow this Reiki to go the distance. So no matter where you are in the world, it makes no difference. You can receive it just by saying yes and letting it in. Also, this energy will extend healing back to the past, even as it fills you with healing in the present, and it extends healing to the future. Okay, so it's a beautiful aligning energy. And calling in some emotional healing just so you can find some emotional balance, as well as do the emotional integration healing work you need to do as you're closing the karmic cycle. So you'll feel really supported as you move through the fall season, preparing up to that time when we enter winter solstice, when you'll be taking some action. Looks like you'll really be aligning with your truth and taking action and moving forward in a bold new way, making some choice that maybe will surprise you. It does have that kind of element in play. And for you to just feel protected on this journey, for you to feel held, watched over by benevolence, and for you to feel centered in your own energy and very present, very focused. Okay, and I'm just going to, again, just really wash over your field of vision with this energy so you can get a new view, a new perspective, and can come into alignment with this energy we're building here. Very good. Very good. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in a little Palo Santo here because I like to use Palo Santo for any kind of journeying work. I'm just going to let the spirit of the Palo Santo come in and just send some supportive energy your way. Cleanse your auric field of anything that's hanging on to you there. Let's go ahead and get just a little bit more of that in there. There we go. That's good. I want a little more smoke action going on there for that. Very good. Okay. One more thing, I want to bring in some tobacco. because it's very sacred to the ancestors for this kind of journeying. And I no longer smoke, but I do sometimes take this in to bring in blessing energy for this kind of journeying work. So I'm just going to kind of send some of this your way and as an offering to spirit. Send some of this over to this whale medicine too with this whale rib. And a little to the Orisha back there. Even Jim Morrison wants in on that action. Okay. Go ahead and just put that out. So let's go ahead and head into this meditative space and like come into our bodies and let's do this visualization journey work, shall we? I want you to just get nice and comfortable in whatever seat you're in. If you're laying down and you choose to journey that way, that's fine too. I usually think it's better for when you're grounding though, just to open up if you start out in a seated position where you can have your feet on the floor. It just helps you make better contact. You can also have your root directly on the floor by sitting cross-legged on the floor. That can also be very beneficial for doing grounding work. And then once you're grounded and you got like some shielding up, then you can go ahead and like lay down if you want to just like receive it that way. That can be actually a really enjoyable way to journey. So forgive me, I might have to clear my throat a bit. I've been doing a lot of talking, so my voice has been getting a little tired. Okay, so just settle into your seat. Let your feet or your root make contact with the surface beneath you. Close your eyes and gently turn your inner gaze up toward Ajna, the third eye chakra. And just take a nice deep breath through the nose, only nostril breathing, okay? Go ahead and just let the mouth just be nice and closed and relaxed. Not trying to, clench your mouth closed, but just focus just all on only nostril breathing. This is very key with a lot of pranayamas, okay? Then you want to go ahead and take a nice deep breath in and carry the breath all the way down to your lower belly, almost right in alignment with the base of your spine, and just let your lower belly rise and fill with air like a balloon, and then just go ahead and slowly exhale, allowing the air to travel all the way out, following it with your awareness. And continuing with the Durga Pranayama, take another breath all the way in. Carry it down to your root. Allow the lower belly to fill and carry the air up further to your solar plexus, right at the place where your rib cage meets at Manipura chakra, and allow your rib cage to expand out to the sides, filling with air. And then you want to go ahead and exhale and follow the exhalation all the way out. And then one more inhalation. Take the breath all the way down to the lower belly. Let it fill, bring it up just like a wave up to the solar plexus. Rib cage expands out to the sides. Let the air come up, that prana up into the heart center, and allow your collarbones to just sort of spread, sort of soften. Experience that gentle expansion throughout your chest, and then just follow the exhalation all the way out. Now, right at the base of your spine, I want you to envision a red rosebud. And watch in your mind's eye as you visualize this rosebud coming into full bloom. gently unfurling its petals one by one and opening until you have this gorgeous red rose bloom sitting at the base of your spine. And from that red rose bloom, I want you to send down a stem straight down into the surface beneath you. And as you do this, also envision that your legs have become like an extension of a tree's roots. So envision these roots coming down from your legs through your feet, and they become enmeshed with the stem of this rose. And now you got like tree roots with this rose energy are starting to work down beneath the surface that you are resting upon, and they burrow deeper down into the earth beneath you, down into the top layer of soil, down deeper still into the layer of soil that is nutrient rich, where the earthworms are aerating so new things can grow, deeper still into the adobe clay-like layers, the rocky layers of earth, the unctuous layers of earth where the water template is, and just drink in the nourishment of that water. Just drink some of that nurturing water element up through your roots. Let it wash through your entire body all the way up to your crown and come back down the roots, and then dive a little bit deeper into the oily layers of earth and down deeper still into the rocky bedrock. And now that you're down into the rocky bedrock, you're heading through layers of crystal. You're heading through layers of obsidian, red jasper, lapis lazuli, black tourmaline, howlite, tiger iron, bloodstone, garnet, amethyst, citrine, carnelian, and blue opal. Now push those roots all the way down into what looks like an underground cavern, and notice as your roots twist and turn around the stalactites there, and dive deep into the bubbling, boiling, limpid pools that are heated by the earth's core, and dive down into those waters that have aqua aura quartz on the floor bed there, and just drink up the nourishment of that crystalline layer, and down deeper still into the layers of earth where it is just complete darkness. And just let your roots rest here for a minute. Just drink in this space of nothingness. Feel the warmth of the earth's core radiating up through your body. Feel the peace, the potential, the stillness of this space. And then when you're ready, drive your roots all the way down into the earth's core and let them really just get anchored in, just weave their way into that earth's molten core and start to drink that earth energy all the way up your roots through all those layers of soil, all those crystalline layers, all through the water template, through the adobe layers, the nutrient rich layers, all the way up into your root where you have that red rosebud waiting in full bloom. And as this earth energy kisses that red rosebud, now you got this amazing glowing red orb building around this red rosebud. What was a red rosebud now in full bloom. And just drink the earth energy up into this center here. This is a very simple way to ground. Now you can let this earth energy go up next to your right to your womb space, right where your navel is, and envision a orange rosebud come into full bloom, and envision this beautiful orange orb energy building around this rose as you carry the earth energy up to this space to fill your body. And just drink that in. And as you're drinking the energy into your chakra centers, Notice that any heavy energy, any cloudy, murky energy, anything that's not yours is being washed away by this earth energy that's again just carrying it all the way down the roots and dropping it off at the earth's core where it can be transmuted, transformed, returned to you as renewable energy. And so you're recycling this energy, you're giving over the old and you're allowing it to be renewed and returned to you in ways that are going to fill you up, support you, and help you really just feel connected to your roots and guided in the next steps forward for you in your life. Now take that energy up all the way through that root center, through Muladhara, up through Svadhisthana, that sacral chakra, and now up higher to your solar plexus, and just see a yellow rose come into full bloom, and this bright solar energy burst as a result of the earth energy coming in and filling that chakra center space. And let this big, bold, gold sun really start to just flood your entire body. Feel the warmth of it and envision this like surrounding you, all sides, this solar energy, until this solar energy expands. Now it surrounds you, above you, beneath you, behind you, before you, and you are sitting in the center of the sun. Just allow yourself to continue to let that earth energy come up, fill the space, and then wash down any energy that doesn't belong to you, any energy that's not yours to hold, and just let it give its way over to the earth's core to be transmuted and returned to you as renewable energy. Now take that earth energy all the way up through all those chakras into Anahata, the heart center, and see a pink rose with green tips come into full luscious bloom there, and allow that energy, this green energy, let's really build the green energy, allow an orb of green energy build here, and also allow this energy to really expand, expand and provide an outer shell to that solar energy. So now you have a sun sitting in middle of this green orb. Okay. And just continue to breathe the earth energy into this space. All right. And now again, breathe all the way up and allow that earth energy to come up into Vishuddha, the throat chakra center, and allow a pale blue rose to come into full bloom, and a beautiful aquamarine light around this rose, an orb around this rose now grows and expands and pulsates. Okay. And same thing, just allow the energy to be cleansed and restored. Okay, this is just a good way to give your entire chakra system sort of like a tune-up, so you can get back in your own energy, and so you can get supportive energy coming in from the earth. Right now, you want to carry that breath, that prana, all the way up, drawing up that earth energy all the way up into Ajna, the third eye chakra, and you're going to see a purple rose come into full bloom and a corresponding amethyst purple orb build there and expand, very similar to the throat chakra. Okay, I want you to just see this like pulsation there, this sort of like ebbing and flowing. Okay, and allow this space to fill with that earth energy. So even as we move into these upper, more expansive channels, we're still staying connected to this earth energy. It's very rooted. It's very rooted, and this is what's going to allow you to more easily move into expansion without losing your footing. This is a very important piece, okay? Always ground first, always shield first before doing this kind of exploratory work, visionary work. And once again, you're going to draw up that prana intermingled with that earth energy, using the prana, the breath, as the vehicle for drawing up that earth energy from the earth's core all the way through your root chakra, on up, clear on up to your crown. And envision this energy making a shaft of white light going straight up. And as you envision this, your roots come up. Those tree roots come up, and your body, your trunk, forms the trunk of this tree. and everything in the upper channels forms branches that are now reaching toward the heavens with this shaft of light. So you are being held within the trunk of a grand old growth oak, okay? You have this beautiful shielding, this beautiful circle of light that's being held around you, and this beautiful, let's view it as a portal for divine energy to pour through. It's this white light that is now running through your entire body that also is now courting into the earth, okay? And this energy is reaching higher and higher and higher until you break through the earth's atmosphere. And now the branches of this tree that you are in the center of is in the outer limits, is in space. And you see all the beautiful stars, the nebulas, the planets just in their natural movement around you. And you feel all this beautiful stardust energy start to come through and wash through you and go all the way down into the earth's core. And it intermingles with that earth energy now. And now they intertwine this star energy, this earth energy, and they are doing this dance, weaving in and out of each other like DNA. And they're going all the way to the heavens, and they're coming back down and doing this dance of intermingling, exchanging energies, the masculine, the feminine, the solar, the lunar. And just breathe this in, feel this connectedness, this one energy, the way that it's also an inherent in you, the way as above really is so below, and that you are the conduit for this energy. You are a channel for this energy to work through. And now you're in this beautiful visioning space, and as you sit in this space of this beautiful flow of masculine, feminine energies, heavenly, earthly energies, upper energies connected with lower energies, and it all meets in the center of you, your universe, your creative center, where Manipura, your power center, is, where Svadhisthana, your creative center, your womb space is. And this applies to you too, men. And just feel the way it all meets in the center of you, that this creative energy works through you. And feel the fluidity of this energy, the way this energy is not stuck, it's not static, it's not fixed. In fact, it's always moving, it's always shifting, it's always evolving, much like water. It can take on any form. And now I want you to tap into the water essence. It is very much in harmony with the lunar essence. And we know when we're looking at lunar energy, which we're calling down from that ether, from Akasha, lunar energy is very much that feminine energy. It is the emotional, it is the watering nature, it is the depths. So we're in this state of inner alchemy right now because we're running the solar energy as well. So we have that temperance, fire, water energy. It's the yin, it's the yang, it's the masculine, the feminine, it's the receptive, it's the active. We're drinking in a bit of the more of the feminine is what we're tuning into right now for our inner modulation, because we have the active, we have the avenue is already in place. It's shielding us. It's holding the space of safety for us to dive into the subconscious, for us to dive into the outer limits, for us to do this psychic exploration, this journeying with whale medicine. So I want you to get in touch with that water element, the water element that makes up you, because humans, we are mostly water. This is why we have such an intimate relationship with the moon. That's why we're so subject to the moon's phases, and why we move so much by Luna's sway, because she has such a hold over our internal water. So as you get in touch with that water element within you, I want you to start to grok the water. Maybe even as you're sitting here and you're breathing and you're visualizing and you're seeing water all around you, just envision that you're underwater and that you can breathe underwater just like you used to When you were in your mother's womb, you were able to breathe underwater, and just notice how natural it feels to you in your body right now that you can breathe underwater, and just take in the sights around you. What quality is the water that you're in? It all has something to show you. Notice, is there any vegetation in the water? Are there any other things swimming around in the water? Is there light dappling the surface of the water and streaming down upon you? Or are you in dark water? Is the water cold or is the water warm? Just make note of what you see. Don't judge any of it. It's more just be curious, like you're an explorer. You're discovering your internal emotional subconscious terrain here. You're entering this dream time space with water as the medium. Water is the portal. And as you're allowing these impressions to come in, maybe even wherever you're sitting, or even if you're laying, why don't you just start to just kind of like let your body mimic the flow of water. Maybe move your hands a bit. Maybe as you're breathing, notice the way the breath is moving like water through you. The way the breath can take in nurturing, and it can also, it can wash through, it can cleanse. The breath can be cleansing. You know, airwaves. There's much that can travel on airwaves and in the water. Much can travel through sound waves, through sonar. And as you're here and you're under this water and you're feeling the element, you start to hear the whale song off in the distance. And this whale song, it's also starting to like weave its own kind of magic over you. And it's almost like a lullaby. It's calling you to journey with whale. And whale is wanting to come forward and take you on a little trip so you can align with its energy and gain it as a medicine ally as you head into this next week with this work that we're doing together. So if you're receptive to this, then say yes. Just send out your energy that, yes, I'm receptive. I want to journey with you, whale. And if you're here and you're in this space and this is enough for you, it's okay. Maybe that's how you begin your introduction to this energy. Maybe first you need to attune to water elemental. So if this is where you are, I encourage you to just go ahead and continue to get familiar with water elemental and do your breath work and grok the water energy and let the water teach you. And don't judge this if this is your comfort level, if this is where you need to kind of stay at this stage. You may go further down the road. Don't judge where you're at. Wherever you're at is perfectly aligned with where you are right now on your path and what your soul is really ready to integrate and receive. So don't try to push the river, okay? With water, we let things flow, okay? But if you're really feeling the call and if you feel like whale song is inviting and you're wanting to journey with whale and you're wanting to get in touch with your ancestral roots and you're wanting to get in touch with your Akashic records, you want to know how to find your Akashic records, then you want to be given a key that you can access them on whatever level you're ready to when you're ready to. That's all we're going to do in this journey that we're doing in this dream time. We're not opening the Akashic records. We're merely finding what is your way there, okay? Everybody has a different route to find their Akashic records. It's not the same. So don't pay attention to these things that you see when you Google Akashic records. When you see that somebody says they have the only way that you can find them, it's not true. The keys are all inside of you. And we all have our own means, our own way, our own route to tapping our roots, okay? And your access to the book of life is going to look different from mine. The route you have to go to travel there, your key will look different from mine, okay? And so this is a journey of empowerment for you, where I'm here just merely providing the framework for your journey and holding the space around your journey. But you are the one who is retrieving your power. and your ability to have access to this guidance, to this information at your free will at any time. You have a direct link to spirit. You have a direct link to your roots. You do not need an intermediary to access this. So this is what Whale is here to help you with. So those of you who are ready to journey with Whale, you notice that now Whale is coming to view. And Whale is coming straight towards you, and you are noticing the enormity of Whale, and you're starting to realize how small you are in comparison to this energy. But strangely, you feel very much at peace. There's no fear present. You feel the gentleness of this creature. You feel the wisdom of this creature. And there's also a familiarity. There's a soul recognition with this creature. You wouldn't have answered the call if there wasn't that memory within you of where life began here on earth. And that you have a certain readiness and a willingness to begin to tap those roots and open up to that knowledge and do that integrative work. So as Whale comes near you, suddenly Whale brushes up against you, and your eye meets the gaze of this Whale's eye, and there's a message that Whale is speaking to you now. And I just want to give just a space of a few waves of that prana breath for Whale to relay a message to you. And as this wisdom, this guidance from Whale comes in, you feel it encoding your DNA. You feel it encoding your very cells. This is becoming infused within you, within your energy body, this guidance, this wisdom that Whale is awakening in you now. And you now know that Whale is inviting you to climb upon its back and journey with it. You are to become a whale rider. And in this way, through tactile contact with the whale, you are able to really grok what it means to be whale, to travel through these oceanic depths. And you start to merge your energy with the whale, and you lay your body on the whale's back, and you allow your arms to come down and rest on the whale's ribs, and you're feeling this connection, and you and whale are just moving together through this water, and you're breathing in harmony with whale, and you're preparing now to breach the surface of this water, and you start to feel that the energy, the momentum is building, and whale is traveling up, up, up towards this shaft of light that you see dancing on the surface of the water. It's so bright, and whale all of a sudden bursts through and breaches through into this white light, and the next thing you know, you're on whale's back, floating in space. And off in the distance, you see this spiral of light, and it's moving in a clockwise fashion. And it looks like there's all these galaxies spinning around this one spiraling light. And you realize that the light that you're heading toward is the great attractor. And whale is on a mission, and you're now moving, swimming through the cosmos on whale's back, and you're heading straight toward the great attractor. This light, this portal of light is drawing you through. It's almost as if the light is pulling you in. Even whale no longer has to make effort to swim. It's just being carried by this current of white light that is carrying you forward, and the light grows and expands until soon it's all you see on the horizon, and you come through the other side into total darkness. You can feel that you're still in this watery type element. You're floating, but it's complete darkness, except there's something that's starting to take form. It's starting to come into view for you. And what it is it's a key. And just notice what the key looks like. What is it made of? Does it have a special design? Is it on a ring? Is it on a leather string? Is it free floating? This is your key that when used, when you're ready, will gain you access to your Akashic records. You can use this key, and this key will show you exactly the journey that you need to travel to get to your Akashic records. It's unique to you, and you should never share this with anyone. It's for your knowing only. Very private, sacred information. If you feel ready to accept this key so that you can journey and you can retrieve your Akashic records when you choose, and this also means that you have the ability to lock them when you need a break to integrate what information you have retrieved from your Akashic records. If you would like this opportunity, reach out and grab that key and tuck it away on your person. And now Whale is turning back around and heading again toward that portal of light, that great attractor. And coming out the other side, and now you're back journeying through space. Just swimming through space, noticing all the beautiful sights around you. Noticing this feeling that you're carrying in your body. Noticing what it feels like to have your energy merged with Whale. And then you get back toward that same shaft of light that was above the water. And now Whale dives down into that shaft of light. And again, you're back underwater where you started. And you now allow yourself to drift away off of Whale's back. And once more, your eyes meet one of Whale's eyes, and Whale has a parting message for you. Again, this is very sacred. It's something not to be shared. It's something between you and Whale. Maybe it's an invitation. This is what's coming through. An invitation for how you can call Whale, how you can continue to work with Whale, or how Whale would like to help you if you'll accept Whale Medicine's assistance. And just take a moment to receive this transmission from Whale. And then Whale starts to travel back off into the distance. And once again, you're here in the water element alone, just breathing. Come back to your breath now and notice your prana. Notice the way the air is rising and falling within you, just like a wave, mimicking that water element. And slowly you start to see the waters recede, and you're coming back into the experience of being in your body on dry land, in the room you're sitting in, feeling the surface you're sitting on, noticing the way your clothes are making contact with your skin. You start to wiggle your toes a little bit, wiggle your fingers a little bit. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Take a moment, look around the room, get yourself familiarized with your surroundings. I encourage you now to just take your hands and starting all the way from your crown very gently over the face and the crown, just kind of like pat down your body, pat down your arms. You can get vigorous with it if you want. Sometimes you might need to if you feel like you're a little bit spacey. Okay, pats on the chest, pats on the tummy, all the way down the legs. Okay, make sure you get the bottom of your feet. Just sweep off your energy where you need to. I'm going to go ahead and pull out that selenite again. And we're just going to clear away the energy from dream time, bringing you back into the present, into this moment. You may notice that your dreams are very active this week. There might be a lot that comes forward for you. I encourage you to keep a dream journal, even if it's just like a little notebook you keep by your bedside. It can be very helpful. It's very important to just kind of close off energy like this after we do any kind of journeying. So you want to make sure that if you're hungry, make sure you get some like nourishing snack in you, nourishing dinner. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And I'm going to go ahead and just use this energy right here with this arrowhead tip to just cut away the cord to the journeying space. All right, so we can just bring you back into reality. Welcome back. I would love to hear how you feel after doing this kind of visioning work. I would love to hear about the synchronicities, the way that whale medicine shows up in your life, or any kind of insights you feel like sharing. But whatever came through for you as guidance from whale, any information about your key, or any kind of highly personal information like that that came through, like really just keep that between your heart and whale. It's very sacred, and there's something about this. There's some magics that are meant to have intimacy held around them. I hope that you enjoyed this experience. I enjoyed leading you through it, and I hope you get a lot out of it. And I will be on tomorrow. I'm not sure what time yet. I want to give myself an opportunity to really feel rested. Things have been pretty demanding lately. And since I'm moving through the Panchakarma with you, I'm trying to be very mindful of my need to also tend to my nervous system and make sure that I'm feeling nourished and grounded and all these qualities too. And I'm also very much in a time of transition in my life. So really working this with all of you. I may do one live that I broadcast both to Cobra's Medicine Bag and to Broad Coven. I may do that this week. I might give myself just a little bit easier of a week this week. I'm sort of feeling like I need it. And I'm also in a bit of a self-reflective time just with my, my soul return is upon me this Friday. So it's a big time for me. I'm really heading into that second half of my life. I'm turning 51. So it's a big birthday for me. And there's a lot that's being activated in me now. My purpose is really being activated. And there's been a lot I've had to release recently, a lot of cycles I've had to close. And there's a lot of possibilities I'm opening to as well. So I'm kind of I'm in the same space as you all right now. You know what I'm saying? So I might do this for myself this week. I might just make things a little bit easier for myself. But I still really want to bring, a quality life forward for you all. And maybe it's necessary to do kind of something that, is about body positivity, that's about having a healthy relationship with your body and food. Maybe that would be beneficial for people here on Broad Coven as well. So we'll go ahead and just fuse them together, and I'm going to broadcast to both locations. Tomorrow I have the ability to do that with StreamYard. So I'm thinking it'll probably come in sometime in the afternoon. All right. That feels right to me. We'll go over some assessments, like ways that you can kind of like look at your tongue, look at your face, figure out what's going on in your body. I like this. I think it's very much in harmony with body positivity to start to relate to your body in a new way that your body communicates to you. So I think this feels fitting for it to be broadcasted to both sites. And yeah, then we'll be good. This was our 2 lives. You know, we're doing them back to back this week. And I hope you'll join me for the live on Saturday, on the 14th. It's going to be all about Freya. We're going to do some runes. We're going to do a little bit of divination, some Seder that is done by reading egg yolks, okay? Reading eggs, you know, I'm going to read the energy, the collective energy. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting, diving a little bit into Norse mythology, and particularly around goddess Freya, who's very dear to me. And there's a whole story around Freya and Brenda Yotis and I. So it'll just be a really interesting live and a lot of fun. And it's like a lot of what I want to do with the broadcast, just start to bring in some very interesting discussions and some storytelling, and just have a really good time and opportunity for us to connect around, you know, interesting topics, and learn new things about each other, and focus on growth and expansion. So thank you for the growth and expansion that's happened at the channel. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. You're supporting me in this work. It's really encouraging for me. It's motivating for me. It also allows the messages to get out to more people. So I really value you being part of this vision. And thank you to all the people who are sharing the videos on social media, to all of you who are sending people my way. Thank you to all of you who have made donations. Next week, I'm going to be doing a special collective read that's just for the people that have donated to the channel, those who have donated to the Cobra's Medicine Bag link. That's the PayPal link that's up in the banner here on the home page for the Broad Coven channel. I believe I also have that link up on the Cobra's Medicine Bag channel. This donate link is also on cobrasmedicinebag.com. That's what furthers me in offering free Ayurveda. It's what makes it possible for me to continue to do that work and to expand on it. So y'all are really helping me out in that regard. Really appreciate the donations. And I want to say thank you to the people who've given donations. There's been a handful of you. And so I'm going to be doing, from this moment forward, I'll start it next week for everybody who's donated up to this point. If you donate, I'm going to be doing a weekly read, you know, for the new people that donate that week. If there's donations that come in, I'll do a reading for that collective, those who have donated in that week's time. And so it kind of like narrows down the focus of the reading. It's a little more personalized of a reading. And that's a way for me to say thank you to you all. So for those who've already donated, I just want to say thank you to you. Look for a read to come in next week, just to pay my gratitude and just show that I very much appreciate the support, and I love and appreciate you. And I feel really good about what I'm building here and my vision for the future and all the new stuff I'm bringing in. There's a lot of new stuff I'm bringing in. So I'm excited to share it with all of you. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, restful, restorative night. Peace.